Hello, everyone. Welcome to Meal Prep Sunday with the DFam. Today is a very special episode. Today we are celebrating Steve Drake, the dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Shug. You guys
Happy birthday, Dad.
Birthday. He is 29 again. He's actually the same age as me now. So I'm not dating a younger man. Happy birthday. For Steve's birthday, we are making his favorite food, and that is his mom's lasagna. So I thought this was really cute. When we decided to do this episode, I went and pulled the recipe, and I called her. If you guys missed a couple weeks ago, we did Bubby's celebration, and we've had Bubby on a lot. She's been on a couple of episodes of Meal Prep Sundays with the DFam, and those have been very, very special episodes because now she is making lasagna in heaven. I called her on 11. Can you guys see this? I called her on 11/21 of 2010 and asked her for her recipe. And it was so cute because she just kept telling me lots of garlic, lots of meat, lots of extra sauce, lots of extra noodles. And so that's why this recipe is called Ruthie's Lotsa Lasagna. And joining us today are Stevie and Ellie. You guys want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Ellie.
And where are you joining us from?
I'm in New Hampshire right now. I'm on my lunch break.
Yay, good. All right, Stevie, where are you joining us from? Oh, Stevie is muted. Hold on a second.
He was being naughty before, so he's
okay. Yeah,
mute.
we had to mute Stevie. Stevie, where are you joining us from?
I'm in Onekama, Bubby's house.
Oh, so well, since you are there and you dug up the dish that we should be making this lasagna in, can you show everybody? This is Bubby's favorite bakeware. It's Dansk, and that is what she makes lasagna in.
This, mind you, this was in the cupboard underneath stuff.
What is in there? What is that?
Happy cherries that aren't open, just inside of it.
Oh, cute.
Wait, how did she make lasagna in that?
Well, actually, it's very interesting. It's all coming together now. I'll explain what I mean by that as I'm making the lasagna. She cooks her noodles. I never cook my noodles. She cooks her noodles, and that is why those noodles had to fit in a round dish. Long rectangular noodles had to fit in a square dish, so she had to kind of mush them around a little bit, which is why she had to cook them. So that's an interesting fact. But that dish that Stevie just held up is a dish that Steve had in his college apartment. I cannot believe it still exists, that we have it. He actually would have never sold it or gotten rid of it because he knew his mom loved dance so much that he just put it up in Onekama so she could use it there and we could use it there. But that's the story behind that dish. So we'll have to make lasagna in that some point again. So today is Steve's birthday. We're making his favorite lasagna dish. Before we get into the making of it, we are all going to check in with our financial updates because that's part of Meal Prep Sundays with the DFam. We take care of our physical health and also our financial health. So Steve and I are checking in. We finally hit 10%, 10.22% to goal. Stevie, do you know your percentage off the top of your head?
No, I can talk about it for a second though. So what I did is I was saving for a house, which I mean I still am, but didn't find anything that I liked before I had to redo my lease, for my apartment. So I ended up taking the money that I saved up to that point, throwing it in investments, but like keeping a nice savings buffer, like 6-month buffer, just in case anything happens. So right now I'm not really sure what the percentage. So that the percentage that I think it was like 6.5%.
65%. 65%. Right, 65%. But you took some of that money and put it into the stock market, right?
Right. So it's moving around a lot. So I just don't know. I didn't want to just sit in the savings account.
Good. Good.
So that's where it is.
Good job. So you're learning all about that. You started your 401k at work.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know what stocks to buy, I'll just tell you which ones I sold. And if anyone wants to know which ones to sell, I'll tell you which ones I buy. So pretty much how it seems like it's working.
That'd be good. Good advice. All right, Ellie, check in with your financial update.
I am 58% to goal, which is ending on January 1st, 2022. I think I'll make it.
Good. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. Good job. And Teddy has already achieved her financial goal. She killed it, and she is deciding what she would like to do next with that. So we want to encourage you to, plan for your week with meal prep. At the same time, plan for your financial future with tracking and being accountable with your savings and your wealth building. So we want to stay physically and financially fit forever. Okay, so let's get started. If you guys have anything else you want to add about Dad's birthday, why don't you go ahead and add that. I'm moving the food cam. Can you guys see the pot that I'm going to use there?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing Dad ever wants to do for his birthday is do nothing and relax with the family. So maybe you guys can.
Used to in the past, James Bond used to come out on Dad's birthday every year, like around Dad's birthday. So, but this year it came out too early, kept getting pushed back, and I was hoping it'd come out around this time this year, but fortunately it came out early. But for the past, probably since Cassine, or maybe even Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, we always went to the movie theater to James Bond, the newest one coming out.
That is so true. It was perfectly timed for years and years and years on his birthday, but I think COVID kind of threw the timing off of things. So a couple of tips that I have for you when making any type of food. Hold on, I'm going to switch the banner. So this is Ruthie's Lotsa lasagna. Number 1, preheat the oven, 350 degrees, baking it. And my tip, anytime you turn the oven on, especially with young kids in the house, is check the oven before you preheat it. Always just open it and check and make sure there's nothing in it, like a toy or something that sometimes you end up like leaving food warm in there and then you forget about it. So check the oven before you turn it on so you don't end up with any type of mess or fire on your hands. I have the olive oil going in the saucepan, and then the way you check the olive oil is just take a little bit of water, and can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Put a little bit of water, throw it in there. What is that, like spray it in there? I don't know what word I'm looking for. And if you hear that crackling, it's ready to go. So we are going to start with onions, and you always want to start with the bigger of the things that you're sauteing. Oh, that sounds perfect. The larger chunks of whatever it is you're sauteing, because that's going to take longer, and we're just going to wait until those get translucent. Can you guys see this spatula? Yes. So this is what Steve loves to use to anytime he's sauteing anything. I use a wooden spoon, but since this is his birthday, we're doing it his way. So he likes this wooden spatula. I always like to keep something next to the range so you don't have dirty utensils all over the countertop. So I always like to keep something, a dish, just to keep the utensils off the countertop. And while those are sauteing, I'll share a couple of other things with you guys. This has been our cookbook forever. And you can see we've kept recipes for years in here. I actually have 2 editions of this. We've collected these from friends and family over years, but sometimes they're hard to read. It is fun to have the original version, like like this, but it makes it really inefficient to read. And since Steve is an engineer and all about efficiency, let's make a really usable, really efficient recipe to read. So we made sure that it's going to be really easy for you guys to make this too. It looks like a lot of ingredients, but it goes really fast and you can multitask while you're doing it.
Also, in my opinion, lasagna tastes better the second day.
Oh, 100%. I think it has to do with the flavors incorporating. So you guys can see these are starting to get a little bit translucent. So I am going to go ahead and throw in the garlic. And also what you would be doing right now is, oops, look at me. I'm using the wrong utensil. That's for the noodles. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good. So good. So like I said, when I was making lasagna and the kids were growing up, I never cooked the noodles. I just felt like it was one extra step that I didn't have to do. It cooks just fine, even with gluten-free noodles in a long 9x13 baking dish. But since Bubby made it in that round dish, that is why she had to cook the noodles. So we have a fully prepared lasagna. Actually, what you're going to see me make is half, because normally you would be putting it in a 9x13, but we wanted to show you a finished product. So you're going to see me use, I think this is an 8x8 or a 9x9 pan. So we did cook the noodles because we are doing true Bubby style. So the noodles are flexible and ready to go. We just kept them in a little bit of water to keep them moist and not sticking together. And it looks like our saute is ready for the meat. So we like to use ground turkey. Stevie, do you make lasagna at home?
I've never made lasagna, not even once.
Can you use ground venison? Is that a thing? Ground venison?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask.
That's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna put most of my deer into ground venison, and then I'm gonna keep the back straps because I just make a lot of chili.
Do you have a grounder, like a meat grinder?
Yeah, as soon as Mom lets me talk about the stuff I brought, I'll show you guys what I brought.
Yeah, go ahead, because now we're just waiting for the meat to. We just have to wait for the meat to brown, so there's nothing to talk about right now.
All right, so I'm super into getting bulky right now, so I had to make sure I had my food ready. So I have these. I'm in an apartment, and it's pretty small, but I set aside a little bit of space to keep these little containers. I used them to store stuff from college, but now I use them to, like, if you go on trips or something, I'll fill them full of stuff. But what I did was, so first I brought my main lunches, which I have 2 of a day, and they're right here. So I got some cod and rice, and then what's under here?
Did you say cod? You're eating cod?
Yeah, switching it up a little bit.
Wow.
And then I have ground chicken, Mexican style, with rice and broccoli. And so I have those, and then I have protein powder, which I mix with water, and I'm also trying to put I put peanut butter in it, and what else do I put in it?
Wait, I want to see what's in that box. Oh,
it's just like it's like my Gatorade and spices right now because I put everything in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
So you
just fill that with your food?
Yeah, and then I had another one that I felt like I brought my coffee machine just because Bubby's coffee machine broke. And I actually have 2 different types of shakes I do. I swap them sometimes depending on what I'm trying to go for, more protein or more carbs. So this morning I had the higher protein shake, and I like to eat real food. It's better than the shakes, but if like me and Stu are gonna head out to go to Arcadia Bluffs or something, or go to the pier, and I need to eat something, I'll just make a shake. And but what else would I? For dinner, I assumed me and Stu are gonna go to like a bar and get like a burger or something. So I didn't bring anything for that. And I also
Go to
put spinach in my
Roadhouse.
shakes. Huh?
Go to Roadhouse, get some Mexican food.
Isn't that pretty far away though?
No, it's like
25
20 minutes. Yeah, it's not that far. You can go get Mexican food and then go to Little River Casino.
No, we're not going to the casino.
I won big there once, Stevie. I hit the jackpot.
You know why the casino is so big? It's because they make a lot of money from silly people.
Yeah, you just gotta know when to leave.
And then this is my grinder that hooks up to a KitchenAid.
You have a KitchenAid?
Yes, thank you to Julie Smith.
Yeah, I use it, Julie. If you're listening to this, I use it once. I use it every time I meal prep, pretty much.
That's
all the
every
time.
week.
I'm literally worried it's gonna get burnt out, like the engine's on it's gonna burn out, because I use it so much.
Stevie, you're really prepared up there.
Yeah, I have my Gatorade. I'm gonna I got a good 3 workouts or like 3 days of working out in. So I have a solid rest day allowment today. So what I was planning on doing is taking a bath, getting nice and warm, and then I have a lacrosse ball that I have knots all over my body. Actually, I've never had this before, but my glute has a knot in it. So I gotta rub my booty out and try to do that. So that's gonna be the working out for today, is preparing myself for next workout by stretching out. And besides that, I'll be eating hamburgers, sitting outside, and
hunting.
Yep.
So I love how prepared you are, Stevie. That's so cool.
Well, the thing is, it's so easy because all you have to do is get those containers out and set them on the ground next to the refrigerator and just put all the food you want in it, and then throw it in the car, and it's like a solid container.
So you you glazed over the container, but go back and show the container that you're talking about, because I saw that real quick. I didn't realize what it was. So you use like a big storage container, and that's what you transfer your food in, right?
That's what yeah, and I have these ice packs that, I mean, obviously it's not going to stay cold forever, but I have like 3 of these ice packs I bought on Amazon that I'll just throw in there and keep it like chilly. But then right when it's a 2-hour drive, so right after that 2 hours, you want to put all the stuff in the refrigerator. And the thing I was worried about was the fish, and that's what I'm eating right now.
That's so smart.
Cod things.
So
I got kicked out of my office for because my fish meals were so smelly. They made me go to they didn't make me, but they made me feel bad enough to where I eat it in the break room of my car.
Yeah, I feel like that's like rule number 1 of office work when you don't have fish. Any fish, tuna fish, using the microwave to warm up fish.
Yep, they really don't like my meal prep, but then again, they don't look like I look, so.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I wanted to explain this tool. I don't know what the exact official name of it is. Steve was so thoughtful. He knows I don't like big chunks of meat, and he loves to make chili. So he bought this. That's really, really loud. I don't know what that was. It was loud.
I think it's a potato musher.
Yeah, it's just a potato squisher. So we could make mashed potatoes with it, but he also makes chili, and he breaks up the turkey in the chili for me, so I don't bite into huge chunks of meat, because that's still really hard for me. So thank you, Shug. I appreciate this tool, and I'm using it in the lasagna. It looks like our meat is brown, and so we are going to move on to the next couple of things that we do. So when done browning, we add red wine and our spices, and we always want to use wine when we cook. So we have a bottle of wine we can sip on while we're cooking. I'm not doing that today, but that is totally legit. And a lot of times when the meat gets to this point of the cooking and sauteing, you need to deglaze your pan, which means kind of get that brown stuff off the bottom. So there's that. And I know we talked about this on another meal prep, but the kids really helped a lot growing up with mise en place. So a lot of times the kids did this part for me before I got home because I was always working. I've always been a working mom. So the kids would read a recipe, measure, put things in little cups, but of course I didn't want them, using knives or using the range or using the oven while I wasn't there. But they could do this part, which was great. They were learning a lot. They were part of the meal making process, and giving them some ownership in the meal. Why are you guys laughing?
I was muted and I was trying to say something, but
what?
Continue. Nothing.
No, that's it. And it was really helpful for me, less stress, and they learned a lot in the process, right? You guys, you can chime in.
Yes.
Yep. What did we learn?
How to make food.
Mom,
Never
I
use
use the
the
same
stove when-
two things every day. I'm super good at running in circles, pretty much.
I
Right
do the
now.
opposite of what Stevie does. I enjoy cooking at the end of the day, so I like buy my stuff on Sunday night and I plan what we're gonna cook for the entire week. And then I have a little whiteboard and I write it down, and then we decide what we want to have. And Jack does what I did when I was a child, is just like chop onions and clean up after me, basically. And I cook all the food. We don't have a dining room table, which is an issue. So we've been eating on our couch, which kind of is yucky.
Remember that table I built?
Yeah.
I use it to store stuff now.
Oh no, you need to eat there. Where do you eat?
It's so weird sitting there and I eat in front of my computer.
Oh.
Like a man that lives by himself.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not gonna unpack that. Okay, so I did the spices, I did the red wine. We let the red wine reduce a little bit. We let the the herbs. And by the way, Bubby was very specific in her herbs: oregano, dried basil, and rosemary. And so that's what we're using in this recipe. But I also wanted to show you that if you just get Italian spice, you can do that too. That is not the way she made it. So we're going true to Ruthie's recipe. And so then now we're adding the pasta sauce. And everything is lots. You just want too much of everything, because if you have extra sauce, you can always do something fun with it, like make a bruschetta,
What's a bruschetta, Mom? I honestly don't know.
You can't make a bruschetta with the sauce.
Yes, you can. Oh my gosh, yes you can. All you do is toast bread and have this warm sauce to put on it. Why can't you do that?
I thought bruschetta was like raw.
Well, I don't know what the official term for bruschetta is. However, you can do pesto on it. You can do the, chopped tomato, like the classic bruschetta. But why couldn't you just put warm pasta sauce on toasted garlic bread? That sounds so good. There are no rules.
There are rules. That's how our society stays together.
Cooking is an art. So there's no rules to art. You make up your own rules. So we're going to recycle these. So I'm going to rinse these out after the show is over. So we have our sauce. We're going to turn the heat down a little bit and let that simmer. And actually, we haven't even mentioned where you can get the recipes yet. So if you would like the recipe for today, go to www.dfam.life. I think we'll put up the scrolling thing at the bottom. Oh, right there. It's already there. Or you can text that number, family, to that number. I think it's, Ellie, do you want to read it? I can't read it from this far away.
316-344-4401.
And the recipe will magically show up in your inbox. So
All right, I gotta head out. I got some stuff to do before I come back to Michigan next week.
All right,
I'll
that's going to
see
be so
everybody
fun.
in a couple days.
So, and like I
Yes.
said before, the only thing Steve ever wants to do for his birthday is spend time with his family. So we are going to be spending time together up north. And
Yep.
Ellie, I get to drive you up. So
Yep.
I need your
We're
flight
not driving.
information.
I know. We're not. We
What-
were supposed to be driving from New Hampshire back to Michigan, but we decided since the big snowstorms are coming to hit us in a couple days, we're gonna fly the day before Thanksgiving out of Boston Airport. It's gonna be super relaxing.
Good luck with that. Well, thank you for spending your lunch hour with us today. And do you have any other happy birthday messages for Dad?
Nope. It's happy birthday. I'll see you soon. I love you.
Love you. Thanks
Love
for coming
you.
today. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Stevie, it's just you and me, kid.
Just the two of us.
Have you talked about why you're up north?
I'm up north to try to catch some deer.
Hunting.
That's it.
Okay, so this is simmering. We are going to leave this simmer. And does your friend want to come on screen and say hi or no?
No.
That's okay. All right, so while the pasta sauce, oh, look at the food cam, looks so good. While the pasta sauce is simmering, that's over medium heat. The oven is warming up. The noodles are done. They're done and they're still moist. I'm just keeping them soft and moist here in this pan. Now I'm going to make the ricotta, the white mixture that goes in. So that is a half a cup of, oh, we're going to start with the egg actually. The egg, one egg. And again, I'm doing half the recipe because we already did half the recipe. We're making it in 2 chunks. And by the way, Mom, you're getting lasagna this week. So I get to give one of these to my mom. She's going to love it. So if she's watching this today, it's coming at you soon. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of cottage cheese. So I just put 1 cup in here. And then we're going to add our Parmesan cheese and our parsley flakes and then ground pepper. So that's super easy. This is the white mixture. And then we're going to layer it all together. So Stevie, have you guys been out hunting yet?
Yep. We came up here yesterday, sat out at night. We sat out this morning. We're gonna sit out tonight and then tomorrow morning. We didn't see anything yesterday or this morning. We saw some when we were walking out to the blind. But
Is it cold?
yeah, it's pretty cold. I'm wearing the OG Steve's jacket.
Oh my God, that jacket.
Stay warm.
That jacket is like a polar, like you could go look at the polar cap in that jacket, I feel like.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. So yeah, and Stu and I are actually gonna go out and do some small game hunting right now.
So what does that mean?
Squirrels,
Okay.
if you wanted to know.
I like small game. I prefer small game hunting. I'm taking the salt. Stevie, do you remember
Yes.
giving me this dish?
I do remember.
So I use
yep.
it, like we use it every day. It's awesome.
That was a good one. I'm so good at giving gifts.
And you also gave me the thing that I keep my jewelry in. So
Yep.
I use that every single day too.
Pretty solid.
Good gifts. I'm taste testing the sauce and adding salt. Bubby likes lots of salt. Dad likes lots of salt. Let me taste it again. Oh, it is so good. Oh my gosh. I wish you guys could smell this and taste this. It is so good. That is amazing. Okay, so this doesn't need to cook anymore. I am going to layer this in a baking dish. So can you see all this? Yeah.
Yeah.
We really
Mom,
want
if you don't mind, I'm gonna step off the show and let you finish it off.
Do you have anything left that you want to say to Dad for his birthday?
You did it, Steve. Another year down. You got
There
him.
you go. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining us today, Stevie. You gotta
You're
come
welcome.
over. You gotta come over tonight and eat this with us. We'll celebrate Dad's birthday all together when we're together for Thanksgiving, but you can come over tonight and eat this.
I'll be here today. I'm sleeping here tonight. So.
Oh, okay. All right. I love you. Have fun.
All right. Love you too.
Tell your friends.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
Sounds
bye.
good. Bye.
Okay. So now we are going to layer everything up. And I want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. There you go. Oops. Very hot. There we go. All right. So I made sure in the recipe, because we're busy, we're talking to people while we're making food, I wanted to make sure that the recipe was really easy and bullet pointed. So the layers are bullet pointed. You're only going to be able to fit 2 complete layers in this dish. There. Yeah. You're only going to be able to fit 2 complete layers in this dish, but in Bubby's really cool dance tall dish, you could fit up to 5 layers, he said. So the pasta that we're using, Steve was nice enough to allow us to do a gluten-free pasta. So this is the gluten-free pasta. It's already done, and it is in here. So you can see what the noodles look like. I knew exactly how many noodles I needed because I have already made one. So we are going to layer this up. We are going to start with putting always a very light layer of the sauce in the bottom. Okay, and I always use a ladle for that. And then you do the noodles. Now, the reason why you can't put the noodles right in the bottom is because they stick to the bottom otherwise. So we're going to do this, and we're going to cut it, and we're going to keep the pieces because we may need them later. Leave those, and then we need one more piece. We are going to use these 2 and this one from our last dish. So there's the first layer of noodles, and I'm so glad that we put this in bullet points because it's so much easier to read. And now we are doing just half of this Parmesan cheese mixture. I'm eyeballing it, and then I am going to move it around with the spoon. The next layer that goes in, let's see, we need a little bit more from here. The next layer that goes in is the spinach. And the thing that I did with the spinach before, as I did our mise en place, which is French for put everything in its place, I didn't want to take the time to de-stem the spinach on air. So I did that ahead of time. So there is that. I left 2 undone so I could show you what I did. And the spinach, since it's been sitting out, it's already wilted a little bit. That's okay. So I just wanted to do those two on camera, but I did all of these already. You can also, I remember using frozen spinach a lot for some reason when I was making lasagna for the kids growing up. So you can do that. The downside about frozen spinach is that I never remembered to take it out of the freezer in time. So then I would spend just as long as it takes to prep some fresh spinach. It would take me to thaw the spinach and then get all the water out of it. So I finally, after years of doing that, just thought, why am I not just using fresh spinach? So you want to put a layer of this. This also, moms, helps you get greens into your kids. Sneak them in. They don't know that they're getting some good, really good greens and veggies in the middle of their lasagna. Then we put some sauce on top of that. Half of the sauce. And I am going to talk to my producer a second here because I am running a little bit over on an appointment. Can you text Angela and just let her know I'm going to be about 15 minutes? Okay, so you guys can see that we've had a layer of the sauce, and the sauce tastes amazing. Then we are going to move into the mozzarella shreds. Put that on camera. And if you prefer a vegan, gluten-free version of this recipe, you can go to margotdrake.com. I did this recipe a long time ago, vegan and gluten-free. So there's substitutions for everything that you're seeing here today. And we use half the cheese here. Okay, now we are going to repeat, and it seems like there's not enough room. And I thought about that because it had been a while since I've made this. When we made our test batch and our recipe batch earlier, and the one we're going to photograph. So it looks like it's not going to fit, but it does. So it will take a full box of those noodles to do a 9 by 13 because we're getting a 2 full 8 by 8s or 9 by 9s. I don't know what this is actually off the top of my head. And we don't have very many noodles left, like maybe 1 full noodle in there. And then we just repeat the process. So we do the Parmesan cheese. That was really nice of the kids to pop on, say happy birthday. If you're wondering where Teddy was today, she is not feeling well, and her voice wasn't even working, couldn't even call in, and she was in bed sicker than a dog. So send Teddy some love and healing vibes. She's got a cold. So this looked the same when I did the test batch. It never seems like it's enough, but once you work with it for a second and start moving it around, you do end up getting a layer coverage. You can't have too much of the wet stuff, otherwise it's going to be really, really wet. You know, and if you don't want to use the noodles, I used to always use, I sometimes would use thin slices of zucchini, or you can use eggplant also, if you prefer not to use the noodles. There's that. So that is done. That is done. You guys know I love to clean up as I go. And I cannot tell you how much I'm loving the bullet points because it was really hard for me to read the recipe the other way. So we have our spinach, and this is all cleaned and washed. I did that ahead of time. And we use a salad spinner. Oh, it's perfect amount. Look at that. We use a salad spinner to get all the water off. You can't have a lot of water on this, otherwise your lasagna is going to be too watery. Okay, so we have our spinach layer. Clean up as we go. Clean up as we go. I want to show you the finished product. This in here. Okay, so exciting. We're almost done. And then I have one more trick I want to show you before we call it a wrap today, and that is with our garlic bread. We started out buying garlic bread, and then we realized, oh my gosh, really early on in our marriage, we realized, oh my gosh, you can totally make this. And then you know exactly what's in the garlic bread, and you can adjust all the flavors accordingly. And also make as much as you want. So, lots of sauce. There's lots of sauce for you, Steve. This is your birthday lasagna. I think the dogs, are just as excited about this lasagna as you're going to be. Can you guys hear them? They just jumped. They like, no, the dinner is done. Look at that. It seemed like so much sauce, but it's perfect. So look at that. Yes, that is perfection right there. If that stayed like that, it would probably burn. So you want to make sure that you get the pasta sauce all over everything. And I also have a little trick for you too in putting it in the oven. So we'll get to that as well. And then the last thing you do is top this. Let's see, can I move this so you can see it a little bit better? There you go. Top this with your mozzarella. Sometimes, and again, this is not a Bubby thing. This is something I like to do because I was always trying to get as many fresh vegetables into my kids as possible. I took a tomato and sliced it into thin slices and would kind of like put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It also kind of shows you where to cut your pieces. And you can also put some basil on the top. Pretty. We happen to have a lot of extra cheese, so I want to make sure that we have this whole top covered with cheese. So I'm going to go around the edges, make sure that's all covered. Lotsa mozzarella. It says right on the recipe that I hand wrote in 2010. 2010, 11 years ago. Thank God. Call your parents, call your aunts, uncles, in-laws, whoever it is. They have a favorite recipe, or if you have a recipe of theirs that you absolutely love, take a minute, call, get it written down on paper. I can't tell you how priceless. We were thinking about all the reasons that we did the DFam, and it was to stay physically and financially fit. And now we're just wondering if the biggest gift that we, were given with this project that we're doing was the fact that, you know, we have some of our parents' favorite recipes written down, and especially Bubby's. She's not here anymore. I think we got all the big ones. I'm sure there are some we missed, but I'm so grateful that we did this and had fun, and we have her on video, and we have those recipes out of her head and on paper. So there you go. You can sprinkle some parsley flakes on top. I'm not going to do that because that's not part of her recipe. But here's the other tip that we have for you is, number one, always we're going to put tin foil over the top, because then you cover it and you bake it for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. And then you take the lid, the tin foil off, and you bake it for another 15 minutes. So it kind of hardens up the cheese on top and just finishes it off really nicely. But this is the other thing that you need to remember to do. And that is to put the shiny side toward whatever is cooking, because that deflects the heat back into whatever it is that you're baking. And then cover the top with, this is EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. So cover the top with extra virgin olive oil so it doesn't stick. And then we are wrapping this up. And boom, it goes in the oven for an hour, 45 minutes covered, 15 minutes uncovered. So I am going to put this back here and show you the finished product, which is all done. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Check this out. So pretty. Look at that. Yum. It smells good. It looks good. Beautiful. We are going to turn that off. Look at that. It smells so good. It looks so good. You can imagine what that would also look like in that beautiful dance bakeware. So I'm going to leave that right there. And then I am going to show you, you know what? I'm going to put this back in the oven because we need to take a picture of it. So one of the tricks that I have for the oven also, if you're doing a casserole that might spill, is I always put a cookie sheet on the bottom, and this has a Silpat on it, so it's going to make it really easy to clean. And look, you can see that it did bubble over, and that way you're saving yourself time and also like a mess on the bottom of your oven. So that is cool. And let me get this set back up. I want to show you the bread tip, and then we're going to call it a wrap. So let me put this back in so it stays warm and we can get a good picture. Okay, so the last piece, and this is not in the email, so we always want to reward the people that are watching our videos and following along with some added bonuses. So we use, let's face up the camera. We use, I can't believe it's not butter. This has been sitting out, so it's nice and soft. I'm grateful for that. And you can see that it's pre-sectioned for our cookie recipe. So I'm actually going to ruin one of these. I'm going to ruin the organization that Steve has here. We'll make sure we don't ruin the other two. And I don't think I'm going to need, might as well make all of this. Okay. So this is nice and soft, easy to work with, and we're going to make our own garlic bread. So we have the butter piece, and now we are going to add in the garlic piece. And we are going to add in some herbs. This is the Italian seasoning from before. So I actually cannot stand using the shaker. I always end up pouring into my hand. Never pour directly in case you miss pour because you can't get it out. So I always pour it into my hand, put it back if I pour too much. But we are making a little slurry here. We used half of this beautiful French baguette. This is not gluten-free. This is full-on gluten. And the trick is we cut the baguette in half just because that's what we'll eat. We can save the rest for later. And then cut it so, can you see? Oh, I don't have the food cam anymore. So you want to cut it so it's not cut completely through. You can see there, it's not cut completely through. It still stays together. And then, you know, I'm putting the food cam back on because I think you'll be able to see it. Oh, the food cam is completely off. Huh, I wonder why we lost the food cam. Sorry about that, everyone. So we can just move this. Okay, and you go through and you put the butter in between the slices. So good. You know exactly what this is. In between. And then we're going to take the tin foil and do the same thing with it. Wrap the bread up. So I don't get to cook a whole lot anymore, but I do enjoy cooking, especially when I'm not stressed and when I'm organized about it. There is a certain way I like to prepare to go grocery shopping. There is a certain way that I like to grocery shop and come home, put everything away, just be very organized and intentional about it. Steve is really good at whipping things up in the kitchen with no plan. That's his superpower. This makes me happy to do this for him. So there is the garlic bread. I hope you like this tip. And now I am going to wrap it up in tin foil. So easy, look at that. And that's, you know, once you have the bread cut, that's something a child could help you with, just buttering, making the slurry, or if you make the garlic, I keep calling it a garlic slurry because it's a kind of an inside joke between Steve and I about something else. But when you make that garlic spread, let's call it a garlic spread. When you make the garlic spread, you could give your child the bread and the garlic spread and then tell him or her to do what I did between the cuts of bread, and then they're participating in making food for your family, and it's really helpful for kids to feel like they're part of the process, and it's teaching them so much in the process. So there it is. There's the bread done. The lasagna is done. We normally like to clean up as we go, but when Steve and I are in the kitchen together, it's a little bit easier to do that. Wipe the countertop, take a deep breath. That is it. So thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, if you want the recipes, text family to 616-344-4401 or go to www.dfam.life. Oh, and the salad that we're doing today, we've done before. It just is perfect for this recipe. We're just using organic lettuce. We're using cucumber. This is like Steve's favorite salad. Cucumber and tomato. He likes it really simple. And then we are using my balsamic dressing, which we've made before. So we're giving you that recipe. And I'm putting these on there because he does like these Parmesan flakes. I thought that would be a nice addition to the top, really keeping it really simple to the top of the salad. And then of course, serve it with some nice red wine. So thank you again for joining. If we would love to know what you took away from today. We would love to see your version of whatever it is that we're making. Always use the hashtag DFam meal prep. So there'll be 2 M's next to each other, DFam meal prep. I always search those hashtags on Facebook and Instagram to see what you guys are making. And please like, comment, share. And if you're watching this on YouTube, take a minute to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I am telling you, meal prep saves you so much time and you stress so much less when you don't have to worry about what you're eating when everybody comes home at the end of the day tired. So you stress less, you save more time and money, and figure out what that financial goal is for you. The only way it's going to happen is if you just keep chipping away at it a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. We set a big financial goal, and I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. And, you know, we've been at this just over a year. So I'm proud of the progress that we've all made, the entire family. Teddy's already hit her goal. Stevie's at 65%. Ellie's at 68%. You know, everyone's like focused on that. If you're not focused on what you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. So just focus on that when you can focus on eating well and living a healthy, financially fit life. It's so nice. So I invite you to do the same. And you also connect with your family. So there's so many positives about it. So Bubby, thank you so much for giving me this recipe 10 years ago today. So glad I took the time to call you and write it down. Ruthie's Lotsa lasagna. I hope you guys enjoy it. Happy birthday, Steve. We are going to have so much fun today. Love you. Bye.